Well, good evening, everybody. I was just stunned by Rachel Notley's speech. Pathetic. Daniel Smith's speech, I had to shut it off right now. And folks, I've gone through all the numbers. All the numbers. We're down to just a handful of ridings left. And it is clear by massive margins. A huge amount of the Alberta electorate, one, stayed home, and two, spoiled ballots through early voting. Clearly. There was no trouble with the machines at Elections Alberta. They never have trouble with that. In fact, they downloaded the results. What everybody's having a hard time swallowing is the spoiled ballots and the reality that folks didn't turn out to vote tonight in any major numbers. We all saw it. Elections Alberta turned over all the mail-in ballots as the vote hand counts were completed per riding. They're still finishing a few. Do you know, Albertans, where you're at? You're at a point where actual electorate who votes in the Alberta provincial elections, i.e. the last one with Rachel Notley, Jason Kenney, and four other political parties. That's right, four other political parties. I know I was in it, and I hold the actual electoral list from 2019. Folks, the media is running scared. Rachel Notley and Daniel Smith are running scared. It's in their speeches. Friends, bipartisanship. And do you know why that is? Because there's 700,000 Albertans who chose not to vote or spoil their ballots tonight. A whopping massive majority itself. The equivalent majority of what's being logged right now, clearly live in the vote counts. The same massive majority that doesn't fill UCP rosters, folks. It's much more than just UCP. That means to get that 700,000, a whopping majority of what are traditional leftists didn't come out to vote. The idea of left and right is disappearing, at least in this massive protest election. I want to hear from the media. I want to hear from all these political experts on elections. I want everyone to explain what happened tonight. I already know the results. I watched all polling stations come in for a vast amount of all of the 87 constituencies in Alberta. Folks, those constituencies have their numbered districts and they're all in mass majority. You are short as much as NDP, UCP, and all the others brought in by 33%. The machines have transmitted the data as hand counts are done. There's only a very small, select handful of districts left, constituencies left with districts to report, and then those mail-in ballot or early ballots come in. And they're not enough. They're nowhere near enough because I have all the remaining constituencies and their total electorate. Albertans protested today. More Albertans protested the election than voted for any party in the election today. It's got these two leaders terrified to the point they know they have to join forces, and that's clearly what they both articulated. Like somebody had already wrote these speeches for them. Like somehow those early ballots that they claimed a percentage of a victory. They don't tell you how many were spoiled, and then they don't tell you when this election's over how many stayed home. More than that, the media doesn't have any source of all the new Albertans. Alberta, you are a whopping 4.67 near million people in this province today. More than 235,000 electorates new to Alberta. Now, some of them may have voted. Maybe a bunch of traditional voters in Alberta didn't vote. The reality is it's a combination of all of it. A lot of people are disenfranchised with the political structure and system. That spells great news for us. I'm going to watch over the coming days and how the media spins this. Are they going to talk about a record voter turnout? Because the reality is there isn't. Sure, there was a record amount of early ballots, but how many were spoiled? Because clearly, those who voted in person today were not of any major substance. When I go over Danielle Smith's riding, where all her districts have been accounted for, a massive, massive reduction just in her Brooks Medicine Hat. A pile of Brooks Medicine Hat electorate didn't vote that voted last time. We're in the many, many thousands stayed home. Rachel Notley, the riding's not done yet, Strathcona in the Edmonton area. But already her numbers are greatly reduced. Protest, protest, protest. That's just the two major leaders' ridings. I called this. I made that prediction. I'm within 3% of my seat count, but nobody could predict this much of a protest vote. I am one of those protest votes. I didn't vote for the first time in Alberta history. I didn't vote. This is my video. Share, 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 because Alberta has never been so disenfranchised, so divided in its entirety, ever. And it's showing in the electorate. I've got to see what media says about all this. I have a feeling it's going to be silence of the lambs. You'll all see. Share, share, share. Get this video out there. It's huge. You won't hear probably about any of this from any other source. I guarantee you, I have all the numbers of Alberta. This is my home province. I ran a majority in the last election. I have the copy of the electorate from 2020. Every single one of you. And we nowhere near matched you in voter count. And in fact, with the, again, heightened population increases, there was no major gains, only in early voting. And my guess is a boatload of spoiled ballots. Probably a lot of words transmitted for these two leaders. And it's why they're talking about joining forces, because they're the dirty crown, the corruption of Canada, and absolutely the great abuse of Alberta. That's my video. Share, share, share. It's huge. It's monumental. It's never been seen before in Canadian history. And I'm just tickled pink. Thank you all. Bye now.